Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Ho. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Ho. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi guys, it's Friday, July 14th. This is Wake Up in Provincetown. My name's Bob.
I'm Harrison.
And we have a really fantastic show for you today. Big show, tons of guests. Who's coming on?
A big show for Bear Week.
Yes, the
Yeah.
biggest. This is the
Yeah.
biggest show of the year.
You sat down with Joe Bruno. Did he give you a haircut?
He did.
Work.
You're gonna watch him give me a haircut in like super fast speed.
Yeah. We also have Babes and Boys back again for your weekly roundup of events happening in the coming week. Also stopping into the tap room, we have the elephant queen herself, Eureka O'Hara.
I saw her last night at
How
Town
was
Hall.
it?
Amazing.
Great. We also have Spookey coming in for a special burlesque performance. Who doesn't love burlesque at 9 in the morning?
I don't know how he does it.
We also have Big Dipper coming in to chat about tomorrow's pool party. I went to his
Belly flop.
Belly flop. I went to his pool party on Wednesday. It was tons of fun. Yeah. We also have Celeste coming in to talk Trevor Project and also their one-person show coming up this week at the 21st, over at the Mary Heaton Bourse House.
Awesome.
Did I get
A
everyone?
week from today, yeah.
Great.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah. I'm fully beat.
You are?
These last 2 weeks have been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your 4th of July week?
4th of July was great. I mean, aside from the torrential downpour on the actual 4th.
I love when the 4th of July gays get rained on.
Why?
Just a little bit of Schadenfreude.
That I don't get it. This is Why?
It helps businesses.
Some.
Businesses get super busy when it rains, and that's great. And honestly, when I used to be a tourist visiting Provincetown, the year before I moved here was Hurricane Andrew, and I came for 4th of July, and it was rainy the whole week, and it was one of my favorite times I've ever spent in Provincetown.
That's
Some
a
of my
better
best
way
memories.
to put what you've meant.
No, I mean, it's two sides. Like, yes, I love that they are getting rained on. Them. Those people.
You're lumping
But
it
I feel like it just creates a different experience in Provincetown, and I think any experience in Provincetown is incredible. And sometimes it's good to get those different kind of experiences.
You know what was not an incredible experience in Provincetown was work Monday through Thursday this week. It was 9,000 degrees in there. Oh, you don't have to work on any of those days.
I was by the pool.
Is this going to be that kind of show?
Yeah.
I hate you. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really fucking hot. You know, where you're like sweating into the dish of food that you're giving to somebody.
Yum.
And it's like you don't need to salt it now.
Yuck.
I did it for you.
Yuck.
No, it was great though.
Yeah.
A great 2 weeks.
Great.
And I got to see the Fantastics on Wednesday.
Yeah, so all of last weekend. I didn't get to do a lot last weekend just because it was the final days of tech rehearsals, which if you haven't done theater before, it's literally just like 8-hour days of like stopping and going and running things. And but then we went right up to Monday, which was our opening night, which was so incredible. Kristen Becker sent me flowers, which made me feel so special.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have thought about that.
Yeah, you should have.
I didn't. Wait, did Kristen sign the card from Bob and Kristen?
No, she did not.
Okay.
But our first 4 shows have been done. We have 28 more shows. If you want to get tickets, there's a ticket link in bio. But the show was awesome. That Monday's crowd was so much fun. It was a lot of like the theater crew, which everyone else in the cast knows all those people, and I got to meet them all that night, and that was obviously an incredible audience. Tuesday's audience was wild and crazy.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
They were just raucous.
Yeah.
I got a standing ovation for one of my numbers from a crowd member.
Really?
It was Hat Sister Tim.
He gave you a standing ovation?
Yes. For
one song?
Yeah. But that was awesome. It was, and honestly, we had like 4 very varied crowds this week, which is good because like you're like, oh, this is how you have to play it when the crowd is a little more reserved. Like this is how you have to play it when they're just like a constant laughter through the entire thing and singing along and things like that.
I haven't heard you say anything about the Wednesday crowd yet.
The Wednesday crowd was also fun. It was all my besties came. Bob came, Joelle came, Todd came. Trevor blew it off. I'm just kidding.
Where were you?
He's busy. Trevor's like running like
Blew
half
it
of
off.
Bear Week, so he's super busy, so he's gonna come catch it some other time. But yeah, Todd, Sunny, Joelle, Andrew, Tonio, all came to see it. It was super cute.
The
And
Harrison Fish Fan Club.
Exactly.
The board of directors.
Bob's the president of the Harrison Fish Fan Club. So.
I'm not only a member, I am the president.
And then last night Britta came, and that was it was just a really great run. It feels really good to be back on stage performing for everyone.
Super fun. Get over there and see it. Also, though, this week we started out at the Brass Key.
Oh my God!
Sunday morning. I wish I had a better video of this to show to you guys, or a
I
video.
have a little video that we're gonna play later for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Of the bagpipes?
Yeah, of the bagpipes.
Oh my God! It was.
No, that was so much fun.
Yeah. So there was a welcome brunch. It was the first morning of Bear Week at the Brass Key, and we went to host a little brunch moment with our friend Tyler, and they told all of the hotel guests that there was an 8 a.m. surprise for all of you. And I don't know what a hotel guest might think that meant, but it definitely probably didn't mean bagpipes at 8 o'clock in the morning.
And when the bagpipes started playing and everyone kind of like started poking their head out of the
like-
room, I'm like, all of these people are much better people than I.
Yeah. Only one person complained, and then a couple hours later, he retracted his complaint.
Oh, good.
And he was like, I hadn't had my coffee yet. I'm sorry I bitched about the bagpipes. I'm surprised none of the neighbors complained. It was a father-son bagpipe act. I mean, you can't make that up. At the top of the highest point of the Brass Key property, blasting these bagpipes. And I'm like, you can hear this from where I live, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
It was fun. It was
It was
beautiful.
super fun.
I also got to hang out at the Brass Key on Tuesday for their weekly barbecue, and that was fun as well. I feel like Brass Key is probably the most social experience you can have staying in Provincetown. Like everyone just kind of hangs out, everyone gets to know each other. I was like, oh, it's so funny that all these people are friends, and then I kind of realized that they became friends by staying all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler served us all ice cream sandwiches on a platter in the pool on Tuesday. I think that was probably the highlight.
I didn't get an ice cream sandwich, and I was in the pool all day yesterday.
Oh, how was it?
It was delightful, exactly what you just described.
Good.
Like everybody just like hanging out and becoming friends.
Did you get up to anything else this week besides sweating at the Red Inn and seeing my show?
Seeing your show, seeing Eureka last night at Town Hall, I
Oh.
finally got to the beer garden for dinner.
Nice.
Have you eaten there
Yeah.
this year?
Mhm.
The chicken parm?
I got the chicken.
I know you're a chicken parm aficionado,
I
and I
know.
gotta say, this one is kind of out of this world.
Yeah. I was eating. I was
Super delicious.
trying to convince someone to share it with me so that I could get a pasta dish as well as the chicken parm, but no one would. So I just
Got both?
ate a chicken parm to my face. No.
You didn't get the pasta?
No.
We got a warm vegetable salad to go with it. Did you see
that
that on the
sounds good.
menu?
No.
Really, really good. And I gotta say this too. There's a bartender there named Peter. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
The first bartender that in Provincetown that I've met in a long time where I was like, I'm gonna steal this person. Like he was so good and like just a total pro. And I was like, how long have you worked here? Where else do you work? He was like, I work here. I work at one other place. And then he was like, and then 2 other places on Commercial Street. I have 4 jobs. And he only named one of the other ones. And I was like, what are the other 2? And he goes, you're just gonna have to come find me. Which I think is it's like supporting all the businesses. Now I have to go to every single place looking for this person.
Nice. Just put an air tag on him.
What does that mean? That sounds illegal.
It is fully illegal. Yeah.
I'll just.
I do honestly think the beer garden has the best cocktails in town.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything was fantastic.
Really, really good stuff. I always get the painkiller because I think that is an annoying drink. But if you're gonna put it on your menu, I'm gonna order it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I spent most of my days at pool parties this week. I was at the P-Town Inn pool for the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
It looked wild.
Yeah.
Like not an inch to move around.
Mhm. And then the day before, I spent it at the Crown and Anchor at Big Dipper's pool party, which was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love a bear pool party.
You love a pool, period.
Yeah. And I honestly love the Crown Pool a lot because I do feel like I have to be slightly conservative in my swimwear at the P-Town Inn because there's often children there, but there aren't children allowed at the Crown and Anchor pool. So I broke out my sluttiest bathing suits.
I did that at the Brass Key.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Also, the boat slip pool is adults only too.
Oh, right.
I think the only one where you have to be conservative at all is the Provincetown Inn. Right?
And people don't.
People don't what?
No, be conservative.
They don't?
No. And I also checked out the Otter Pop pool party over at the Crown and Anchor on Tuesday, which was tons of fun. That is the most packed I've ever seen that place.
Are your fingers still wrinkly? It sounds like you were in a pool for like 96 straight hours.
Yeah, and otherwise I was in nightclubs that were just as wet as the pool.
Man, you are loving your new, barely working at all life, aren't you?
I know, and I was like, oh, I'm just like never gonna be able to do things when I have the show because I'm gonna have to like be preparing for the show and like taking care of my voice. And I love how that lasted 0 seconds. Just was like, nah.
Well, you opened during Bear Week,
Yeah.
so you had to go to things.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
Which is why.
I refuse to be one of those people that lives here and works here and doesn't do any of the fun shit.
Right.
Go to all the stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's also like, people talk about work-life balance, and now it's like work-life tourist balance, because you have to act like a tourist every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Go to the pool parties, but I do refuse to pay cover. I just don't think I should have to.
I don't think you should have to.
Thank you,
either.
thank you. I did pay cover for a party on Wednesday. That's okay. Did you get up to anything else this week, or is that
I think
it?
that pretty much covers
Working
it.
and drinking in a Speedo in a pool.
Yes.
What else is there?
That's life.
Yeah.
And what a life.
But reminder, ticket link in the bio to see me in the Fantastics. Get your tickets now. I'll only say that like 3 or 4 more times throughout the show, unless you buy them right now, and then I won't have to. Do you want to do your game?
Okay. Oh, so you guys, the Weenie Roast, which is happening later today at the Brass Key and hosted by our friend Eureka, is technically sold out. But we happen to have a couple of tickets to give away during our call-in game for your consideration, in which one of us recites an iconic movie monologue. You call in, tell us what movie it's from, and this week you're going to win 2 tickets to the Weenie Roast.
Yeah. There's
And-
also other tickets, right? So we're giving away 2. We got 20 tickets. We're giving away 2, and then for the other 18, we're going to release them right now, and you can get a $20 off with code WAKEUP. And they're originally $45
They're originally 55, but now they're 35 on ptown.org.
if you use WAKEUP, the promo code.
The Wake Up promo. Say
That's
that
the
again?
only way to get more tickets. If you don't have tickets yet and you want to go, you got to get them now.
And if you're going to play this call-in game with us, the phone number that you're going to call is 617
676 7597. Is it in the bottom of the screen? Thank you, Andrew.
It's right
Oh,
here.
What would we do without
Scrolling,
you?
or probably just sitting there.
Yeah.
I've done this movie monologue before. The last time I did it, Nicole came running out of the kitchen because she thought I was going to punch Harrison in the face because she thought I was legitimately angry.
I mean, that tracks,
Acting.
though.
I was just acting.
Uh-huh.
From one of my favorite actresses in one of my favorite performances ever. Don't forget, you're going to call Harrison and tell him the movie that this is from. Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you think you are? I come in here, you don't know me, you don't know my life, what my life is, and you have the balls, the indecency to ask me a question about my life?
Please, lady, why don't you calm
Fuck
down?
you too! Don't you call me lady! I come in here, I give you these things, you check, you make your phone calls, you look suspicious, you ask questions. I am sick. I have sickness all around me, and you fucking ask me about my life? What's wrong? Have you seen death? Have you seen death in your house, in your bed? Where's your fucking decency, Nicole? Have you seen... And then I'm asked questions? What's wrong? You suck my dick. That's what's wrong. And you fucking call me lady? Shame on you! Shame on you! Nobody?
Nobody yet. Honestly, work.
I need some water.
What if no one calls?
You have to do it again.
Do it again. Hello, this is Wake Up in Provincetown. Who's this?
Hi, this is JB from DC.
Hi. Do you know what movie that's from?
I do.
What movie is it?
Magnolia.
It is Magnolia. Congratulations. You're the winner of 2 free tickets to this afternoon's Wiener Roast over at the Brass Key. Thanks for calling in. We'll get these to you ASAP.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for playing.
Don't forget to thank the screenwriter for that.
Oh, that's right.
Who's
Thank
this
you, Paul Thomas Anderson, who wrote and directed that film.
Good work, Bob.
Thank you. Oh, the actors are on strike now, too. Shit. Look, we need to talk about news. Or do we need to do something
Let's
else?
talk about that really quick. So, Fran Drescher's, who's the president of the Screen Actors Guild, announced yesterday that they're going to be going on strike. And there's some pretty strict rules around it.
Like what?
Well, basically, even if you're not in the union and you cross picket lines, you'll never be in the union.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I have heard reports for people who are kind of like in the scene are hearing that they're basically like, oh, these people will eventually starve and lose their homes, so they'll come back when they have to. Which is so fucked up. I don't know exactly what we can do as viewers, as consumers of the art forms. But if I'm hoping this Screen Actors Guild strike will help, and if not, we'll figure something out how we can all help soon. Maybe cancel all your Netflixes and HBOs and all the stuff.
Go back to living life outside.
Ugh.
Turn off your devices.
Yuck. Just kidding.
But you can still go see stage productions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the Screen Actors Guild also said that like indie films can be made, and even if you have if you're in the union, you can do indie films without crossing picket lines, which is that makes sense.
Does it? That is kind of
Well,
weird,
I mean, it's
though.
not supporting the complex that is underpaying these people.
I see.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Speaking of actors, you know who had a really big week this week?
Who?
Our friend Murray Bartlett.
Yeah.
Double Emmy nominee this year.
I'm not surprised at all.
Not only am I not surprised, but I called it on this show the last time we interviewed him.
I love how last year you're like, you're gonna win an Emmy, and this year you're like, you're gonna get nominated for an Emmy.
No, I said you're going to get nominated for both of these things, and I was right.
Yeah, huh?
So if you didn't watch it, go back and watch Welcome to Chippendales. Murray was.
It was so good.
He was amazing.
Yeah, and
and Juliette Lewis got nominated for that
No
too.
way, I didn't see that. I was
Yes,
about to say I loved it also because Juliette Lewis is in it, and I love her so much.
and of course, that third episode of The Last of Us, Murray and Nick Offerman both were nominated for an Emmy. One of them's going to win that.
Yeah, in Best Guest Star, I think it was the 6 of them. It was 4 people from Last of Us and 2 people from Succession, maybe.
Probably. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, it was.
So it was like 2 shows that were the whole category, which is really great. But there were tons of queer people nominated. Bella Ramsey also got nominated for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. Drag Race got nominated for 9 Emmys.
9?
Fire Island got nominated for Outstanding TV Movie.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Was that a TV movie? Or does Hulu count as TV?
I guess Hulu's TV.
Okay. Work.
Why did they decide that Bella Ramsey is best actress?
I'm not. I don't know specifically this, but I think they probably did something like they did for the Tonys, which was allowed actors to submit themselves for the acting category in which they felt was appropriate for them.
That is how it works, I believe.
But fingers crossed that next time Murray comes on the show, he'll have 3 Emmys.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if he
We
wins
can
both?
each hold one. Speaking of movies, there's tons of fun stuff going on this week in Provincetown regarding movies. This Friday, tonight, The Graduate is playing at the Mary Heaton Vorse House. The movie starts at 8:25, but the event starts at 7 o'clock. There's going to be cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, so definitely stop by for that. And also, a lasting first impression is going to be at 8 o'clock this coming Wednesday at Water's Edge Cinema, and that's really exciting. It's a 30-minute short film, and it is starring none other than our local favorite celebrity, Kaya Cristal. There's going to be a Q&A after featuring Kaya Cristal herself, so definitely stop by for that. And Barbie and Oppenheimer are going to be going head-to-head right here in Provincetown, so you got to make your choice heard. What are you going to see? Ethan, what are you seeing? Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Barbie.
Duh.
They're
Barbie.
playing both of those movies here in town?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I know, that's exciting.
Which one are you going to see?
Barbie, duh. Come
Fine,
on.
I'll go see Oppenheimer.
Why?
Because everyone else is going to go see Barbie.
Did you see that Cillian Murphy,
Killian,
and also Emily Blunt walked out of their premiere in support of the writer's strike?
they did?
Yeah. Let's get it done, people.
Where's my cute shirt from? This is from
Seaplane?
Seaplane.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Go to Seaplane on Commercial Street and get yourself a colorful, cute top.
No, yeah, I popped in. They have tons of really cute stuff.
Celeste was like, I like your top. It's a blouse.
We've been talking about the Dune Shacks for a few months now, but this past week there is another things going on in the ongoing Sal del Deo Dune check. He had been evicted. A couple days later, they started talks with him to figure out how he could stay. He had the support of Senator Warren.
Everybody.
Yeah, Julian Sear, Sarah Peake. And they offered him a 2-year lease, and he turned it down because it didn't include the rest of he felt like, he's like, why am I allowed to stay because of all this hubbub when it's still not addressing the problem of all the other people getting kicked out of their Dune checks. So more to come. But I did read in the Independent this week that I can't remember his name, but the gentleman who's representing the Park Service is going to come to town and have a conversation with the select board.
You know what this reminds me of? That 80s movie, The Never-Ending Story. This is never going to be over. Oh, very good, great. Standing ovation. Where's Tim?
Thank you. I know.
The saga continues.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Also, sad news this week. This was formative for me specifically. Sue Johansson passed away this week. She died June 28th at her home in Toronto. And if you don't know her, you actually might. She had 2 shows, one in Canada and one in the U.S. It was called Talk Sex with Sue Johansson. And she was this very sweet woman who would talk very frankly and matter-of-factly about sexual health, fetishes, fantasies. It was basically like a call-in show, and it was very formative for me watching, because it came out right around that time where you couldn't just Google shit, and it was really sweet. So I think a lot of people are sexually healthy because of her, and she leaves a legacy of really cool stuff. Yeah. That's all I got.
Let's turn it over to Babes and Boys to tell us what's going on in town this week.
Good morning, Bob and Harrison.
We are coming at you live from the beach in honor of Girl Splash coming up, and we have a full lineup for you. What do we got?
Yeah, starting tonight, The Graduate's being screened over at the Mary Heaton Force House. Really beautiful space to see a screening outdoors, and that's being brought to you in collaboration with the P-Town Film and Provincetown Art Society. So check out tickets at the link here.
Also on Friday, we have Front Stoop Feminism at Woman Crafts. Starting at 7:30, you can perch on the stoop and read your feminist ideology. They will have books there for you to read if you don't want to bring your own, but come on out. Sure to be a really good time.
This Saturday, you also have Yoli leading the Wash Ashore live sessions at the Provincetown Brewing Company. That is at 7 o'clock, so come check that out.
And on Sunday, if you head on over to pam.org, there is a secret garden tour that you can take. It will take you through all of the private gardens in Provincetown, some of the most beautiful spaces. It's an annual tour. Go check it out at pam.org on Sunday.
And then starting Monday, what we're going to say is the official start of Girl Splash Week. It's a really fun event that Sam is participating in with Sylvie.
Yeah, Sylvie's going to be on drums. I'm going to be spinning some tunes at Way Downtown starting at 9 p.m. for a tribal dance party. So come and check that out to kick off Girl Splash Week.
Following that, Tuesday is our See You Next Tuesday party. This week's edition is going to be a Surf's Up theme, so come in your babyliest beachwear and get ready to hang and enjoy summer, which is here.
Surf's Up, squirrels. Then on Wednesday, Yoli will be at the Crown and Anchor at 7:30. And also on Wednesday, there will be a special screening at Water's Edge for A Lasting First Impression featuring our own Kaya Cristal. You go check it out at ptownfilm.org for tickets and more information on that. What else is happening on Wednesday?
Also Wednesday night is a really rad outdoor concert. Zoe Lewis is going to be at Herring Cove. That's the outdoor concert series starting at 6:30, so go check her out.
Then on Thursday, oh boy, if you head on over to P-Town for Women, it's got the full lineup for Girl Splash. We have whale watching. There's solid gold tea. There's also a sunset dune tour with beach bonfire, and all the information will again be found at the P-Town for Women.
We'll also have a Literary Book Club meetup, and that's going to be 6 p.m. at the library at Crown and Anchor, so sign up early and come on by.
Featuring Last Night at the Telegraph Club and Tipping the Velvet. There's also Betty at 7 p.m. And for one night only, Melissa Farrick will be in town at the Art House.
And on Friday is the official Girl Splash pool party from 11 to 4 at Crown and Anchor. A whole lineup of fun DJs, including Sam. And then later that day, we're going to do a collaboration at Coyote Kayak with Babes and Boys. That's a Coyote Kayak guided tour through the harbor. And it'll finish up at Coyote Kayak with a fun beach hang, Sam DJing, tarot card readers, and I'll be serving up some fun drinks. So come hang afterwards if you'd like, or join the kayak tour and sign up for that here.
For the full list of Girl Splash events, again, visit P-Town for Women. We'll come back at you next week for the roundup of next weekend's events. Until then, have fun in the sun and have a great Girl Splash, everyone.
See y'all.
You should be mayor. You should be like.
We're back.
Oh,
Thanks, babes and boys, for filling us in on everything going on this
remember
week.
to cheat toward the camera, Celeste. Please welcome to the show a very dear old friend of mine, Celeste Lecin. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Very happy to be here. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's a community service.
This is a community
You
service.
should be joint mayor of the town.
Yeah.
Hear that, Alex Morse?
Coming for you.
Can two people run for town manager
that.
together? No.
It's Provincetown. Anything's possible.
I love that.
Bring it the truth.
That is
It's
the
like
truth.
polyamory, but through government.
Politics.
Yeah.
Politicky-amory.
I feel like I used to see you a lot here, but not lately. How come you don't come to Provincetown as much? Or do I just miss you when you're here?
I think you just miss me when I'm here. Do you miss me when I'm
I
not
miss
here?
you when you're not here. And I miss you when you're here.
I come here every year.
Every year.
I teach at the Fine Arts Work Center, and I usually do some event. Last year I performed at 20 Summers in June, and then I came back in August and I performed out at the Truro Vineyard. I was working on my show, Poof, with an exclamation point. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And so I've come back this summer to teach at the Fine Arts Work Center and to do my show, Poof, again, but this time in the backyard of the Mary Heaton Vorse House.
It's a fundraiser for the Provincetown Arts.
Provincetown Art Society, which is a wonderful organization that raises money for all the arts organizations in Provincetown. But you know that.
Yeah. So we talk about the Trevor Project here on the show all the time and everything
Do
going on
you?
with them. Oh yeah, we mention you a lot.
Oh, that's so great.
What you're saying is you don't watch it.
But I will from now on.
But there's a kind of a more new project that you've been working on, the Future Perfect Project. Tell us a little about that. It's uplifting voices of queer youth.
Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 years ago. I was traveling around the country doing my shows, as I usually do, and I always find my way into high schools to be able to talk to queer youth, and I just noticed something that I'd never seen before. Like in the 25 years I've been working with queer youth, I just realized that there was something really, really different about the young people who are queer, that they found out who they were when they were probably in 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. They had the internet, they had a social justice component, they had each other, they had a different relationship with their queerness than I'd ever seen, and they also had a sense of their own history as queer people, right? Like they knew that they were not making it up from the start, like maybe, I know I had to make it up, you know, and find out everything, but they just learned everything. So I got very turned on by their smarts and their ability to articulate who they are. So I started this organization called the Future Perfect Project with the idea that they really are living in the future that hasn't yet arrived, right? That especially queer young people are they're sort of at the forefront of what it means to be an authentic human being. They're showing us how to be yourself, like boldly in the face of no, right? So we created online and in-person creative workshops where they learn to write songs and create monologues and just make art that expresses who they are. So our job is really to amplify those voices. And during the pandemic, we moved everything online. And then we started becoming a production company, really, like making animations with their stories and producing albums of their music. And you can go online to the futureperfectproject.org and you can see some of their work. It's, you know, I just feel like they're the answer, not the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's the solution to this problem of what it means to be yourself. And it's infuriating those politicians, as you probably know, don't even get me started,
Let's get started.
Because here's a group of people who are listening to their bodies, right? They're listening to their hearts to tell them who they are and how to be. And those people cannot stand that.
Right.
It just drives them crazy. And I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's what all this legislation really is about. It's in response to these young, articulate, smart, knowledgeable young people. It's trying to quell that by not talking about it in schools, not allowing representation, not allowing them to see, because they've seen how having representation and seeing the way queer adults live, having kids see that, you see the power it gives them, and that's what they're trying to take away.
And you know, after 25 years of working with the Trevor Project, you know, which is still so needed, right? It's a suicide prevention and crisis intervention lifeline, and it's still so needed. But there's an army of young people out there who are really thriving, despite the mental health challenges, despite this, you know, suicidal ideation, and they're blossoming, and they need love and attention, right? And when you hear them and you hear from them, you just think like, well, why wouldn't I support this? It's such a beautiful thing in the world. And well, I just want to say to every Republican, just stop. Are they watching?
Yeah, probably.
The gay Republicans,
Right.
which are really confusing to me.
Yeah, I know. So tell us a little about your show, Poof.
Okay, so, you know, I'm a writer, performer, and that's how Trevor got started. I don't know if you know, but I did a one-person show like 30 years ago, and Trevor was a 10-minute section of a solo show, and it got made into a film, and that film won an Academy Award. And so I have a big belief in the power of story and what it can do in the world, how it can change stories out in the world. And I just got into my head this idea that I wanted to address something about climate change. And I felt that there's something that queers know about survival. And so Poof is really, I kind of conflated the history of fairies and the history of queers. And a fairy arrives to basically tell the people how to survive in what's about to happen in the world.
And this is next Friday at the Mary Heaton Force House.
Come.
What time?
Come.
What time?
7.
7 o'clock next Friday. You can go.
Really?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh, come. Yeah. What do you mean you can go?
I can't go.
Why
I
not?
have to be at work on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I still work on Fridays.
And then you're taking it to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival?
I am for
That's
the month
exciting.
of August, so I won't be here
nice.
for the month of August, but I'll be
Awesome.
doing my show in Scotland.
That
Edinburgh.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making some time to be here and chat with
Oh,
us.
thanks for having me. It's wonderful what
course.
you're doing for
Thank
the
you.
town.
It's so good to see you.
So now we have a video of this past Sunday's Bear Week welcome wake up. Wake up with the bagpipes again now. Wake up, wake up. That's my kind of wake-up call.
Right?
Yeah. Please welcome Big Dipper.
Hello.
Thanks so much for getting up this morning.
I was saying this is such a reasonable hour, but it for some reason feels like 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh my god, can you believe I get up this early? It's like you have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like that's reasonable. That's not crazy. And I'm like, it is for me.
And I do want to double down on the comment you made earlier. The swimsuit at the pool party, very slutty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
that was my second sluttiest. The day before sluttier.
Oh,
Yeah.
string bikini.
It was this. It's like a gauze. That's kind of yeah.
That's like
Andrew
the-
saw.
It's like the
Well, when it was wet, it was fairly clear.
Yeah, everyone on TikTok is like pranking their straight husband with dissolving swim trunks. I'm
Right.
like,
Oh my
that's
God.
a gay party.
Yeah, honestly, honestly.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
The only reason that would never work on gay people is they would never put on that ugly bathing suit.
Exactly.
Because it's like trunks. Trunks.
Down to the knee.
Imagine. But your pool party was so fun on
Thank
Wednesday.
you. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
And we got another one going on tomorrow?
Yeah, this week has been so crazy. So the Crown and Anchor brought me out, and I'm like hosting a bunch of events, and it really does. You kind of feel like the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your posters on everything. You walk around town, you're waving at everyone. You're pulling, dicks out of your mouth and waving back to
And
everyone
then
else.
putting them back in.
Yeah,
taking them out,
exactly.
and putting them back in.
Yeah, so Saturday, sort of to bookend Bear Week, we're doing a pool party called Belly Flop. It's at the Crown. I'm going to do a performance poolside. I'm hosting, and we're even doing a belly flop contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Yeah. Is it your first time? No, you were here last year. Was that your first time in Provincetown?
I was here last year, but not during Bear Week, and no, it wasn't my first time in Provincetown.
Okay.
When did
Yeah.
you start coming to visit?
I think in like 2014.
Okay.
But I was always like busy in the summer, so I'd pop in for just 1 or 2 days, and I never got to spend like a full Bear Week. And now it feels weird that I haven't been here. Like coming back for this week and seeing so many people that I know, like, and just to me it like makes sense that I should be here, and I want to make it like a regular thing that happens.
I love that.
But yeah, it's a really special scene out here.
Definitely. Especially this week. It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
I don't
I've-
think there's like anything like it.
Yeah. I've never been to any other Bear Weeks. Have you? Like
Yeah, I go
PV?
to all of them. They call them bear runs, you know? I don't know, we can't figure out what kind of animal we are. It's a bear, but you say woof. And then like, and you go to a bear run, but isn't that for like horses or cattle or something? Like, I don't know, bears do a lot of running. But yeah, like Texas bear roundup, that feels like livestock. Lazy bear, that one feels like more like in
that
tune
tracks,
with the
yeah.
animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go to bear parties everywhere all the time. There's a bear group in Kansas City called the Kansas City Bear Mafia. I did their party once. We shared a hotel with a quinceañera family event.
Wow.
That was tricky. Yeah, I go to bear parties everywhere.
No, it's so funny. I ran into you probably right when you got into town, and I was like, oh my God, hey, how are you? Like I knew you, and then I realized I didn't actually know you. I just knew you from your podcast.
Was I an asshole?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I'm sure I was. Yeah.
I was very impressed though when you came up to me at the pool party and you were like, we're going to have you on the show. I looked at my phone 30 minutes later and there was a graphic up already, and I was like,
yeah.
"What? You're in a thong. You don't even have a phone on
We
you."
have a staff. That was Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor. Also, you win today for outfit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, best top.
No, I love your
Bob.
top too. This is pretty great.
yeah. Supporting languages.
Have you been just working all week, or have you had time for fun too?
Fun and work. My work is fun, so any workaholics tagline. My work is fun. But no, I've had a great time. I've been biking around. I went, jumped off the rocks over down at the breakwater with some friends. My friends have a band, Man on Man. Went to their show. Yeah, just bumping into people. It's great. It's really social.
Cute.
I had lobster once so far.
What's your wristband for?
Super VIP at the hotel where I'm
Super
working.
VIP.
I don't know.
Mine must have gotten lost. in the
Yeah,
mail.
they were like, no one else has these green ones. I was like, sure.
So check out Big Dipper's pool party tomorrow. Belly Flop. Is
Yeah.
it noon to 5?
Yeah, general pool party hours.
Yeah.
The crowd. Belly flop. And I'm gonna do a performance as well.
Did you perform on Wednesday?
I did not. I just hosted on Wednesday. Yesterday I ended up doing 3 performances. I performed at the Bear Mania pool party that was at the Crown. I performed at Thick, which was like a club night we did at the Crown. And then when I was done, I just biked on over to Purgatory, and Mark walked me into the basement door, and I did like a 3-minute performance.
Oh my God, word.
I couldn't see anything. I walked in, my glasses were like
Oh, yeah.
fog.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I held onto the ceiling and I had one foot on a bench that was slipping everywhere, and I just yelled into a mic for 3 minutes, but I think it went well.
Fun. So check out the pool party tomorrow, and if you're not in town, check out Big Dipper's podcast, Sloppy Seconds with Meatball.
Enter the belly flop contest tomorrow.
You should.
Okay.
That wasn't a comment on your size.
It's what it felt like.
I know I look down at your belly, but I like bellies. And I want you to flop in the pool.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch Bob getting a haircut now.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I'm in the chair at Bruno's Chop Shop on Commercial Street with Joe Bruno.
Hello.
Joe, your barbershop has been years in the making.
Yes.
And, I mean, let's take it back a minute. When we were both living in Los Angeles, you opened up Bruno's Chop Shop there.
I did. We could take it back even further when I met you here.
Yeah. So my first summer at the Crown and Anchor in 2005, you were tending bar there.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know this story, but Doug Rapetti and I used your name to lie to get a job at the Crown and Anchor.
Perfect.
I don't know if Rick Murray or anybody knows that, but Doug had worked at Splash where you
Yes.
had worked.
Yes.
And so he knew your name but didn't really know you.
I'm glad it worked.
So when we showed up, we were like, we're friends of Joe Bruno's. Doug and Joe worked at Splash together. Can we have jobs? And they were like, Joe Bruno, absolutely.
Good.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Excellent. Well, let my name work for you.
But then when you were cutting hair in LA, I would come down to Beverly Hills to see you.
Yes.
And get my hair cut. And then I feel like the dream was to come back here.
The goal was always to come back here.
Right, me too.
Always. So I knew I had to kind of move away to make some money to come back. So that's what I did. I didn't realize how nicely it worked, but it did. I just kind of put it into play. And when I got my license like 22 years ago, this used to be Joe's Coffee.
Right.
And I always said this would be my perfect shop. You know, so slow manifestation, however it worked, it worked. So.
Perfectly executed. We did it, Joe.
Yes, we did it. We
did
planned
it.
10 years, 15, 12 years down the line, and yeah.
And it looks fantastic in here.
Thank you. I'm very happy with how it came out. Pretty much stuck to my design. It's just a bigger version of my shop in LA. So yeah, so it's good. I'm almost afraid to say everything is good right now. You know, I'm happy. You know, we built a house 5 years ago, and then opening this is kind of like where I wanted to be. So yeah, things are good.
You made your dreams come true.
Yes, I made my dreams.
This is a success story, like the great American dream. There's 4 chairs in here. You've got a couple of other bartenders in here with you. People can come see Dennis.
Barbers. Bartenders later.
Did I say bartender? Barbers.
Yes, yes. Dennis Sullivan's here full time. I have a gentleman, Brandon, coming at the end of the month. He'll be here for the summer. So yeah, we have an extra chair open in case somebody happens to pop in and wants to work for a little bit. I can do that. I'm actually licensed as a salon and a barbershop. So I believe I'm the only one in town that has dual license.
Nice. What does that mean? What's the difference?
So, you know, the state has this really weird thing about salon, cosmetology license and a barber license. So basically cosmetology licenses can do more chemical services, the mani-pedis, that kind of thing, and barbers can shave. So those are the real differences. But now I can do everything. So.
And I'm pretty sure the last time you cut my hair in LA, there were less grays down here.
Not even talking about grays. There was less grays on my head too. So yeah.
But you're gonna make me look young and handsome and wonderful, right?
More young and more handsome.
I love Joe Bruno. Let's get to it.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Bob.
So what days are you gonna be here?
I am going to be here Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Come and see Joe Bruno and get him to clean you up and make you gorgeous again, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Book online, guys. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Bob.
Love you, Joe Bruno. And here, a sexy morning treat, Spooky Boylesque.
thong at 9 in the morning.
We're gonna get to chat with Spooky a couple minutes from now, but first, Miss Eureka O'Hara, how are you, darling?
Hi, I'm good. I can't believe you stole my act. I was going to do that exact performance. But hey, he brought his own rock. I left mine at the house.
How are you finding Provincetown?
It's your first time.
It is my first time. You know, it's been so long since I said that. Yeah, so I've had an amazing time. It's so cute, so sweet. You know, the food is great, which is always good, I guess, especially for Bear Week.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it's Bear Week, so you know the bears love my big ass. Thank God. It's just been adorable. I think the area, the environment's really sweet. You know, it's been nice.
Town Hall was really in love with you last night. That was a fantastic show.
Thank God. I was so stressed. You know, it's the first time I've ever done a one-woman show.
Really?
So, yeah, so
Provincetown forces people into that.
Yeah, I know. I've been avoiding it for years now, but I guess I was like, yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It was nice. It was fun. I felt vulnerable and funny, but also still like true to this like activism of self-love, which I find really important in my personality and character. So it turned out to be really fun, and I got to be really crass and awful and nasty at the same time. So.
There was a really beautiful audience participation moment where you had those people come up on stage.
Yes, I love that. You know, I love pulling people in from the audience too because it just changes the environment. You know, it's a lot when it's just you on a stage, and then when you bring in people and they get to feel like they're involved. You know, and it's always nice to pick at certain people that you know want to be a part of something but are so afraid, but yet they want it so desperately that they end up turning it out. And one of my favorite people was Pam, who's normally a photographer here in town. She was so great coming up to me after, and she was like, you know, it's been so long since I got on stage, you know, because you didn't want photography in the show. I actually got to sit and watch, and, you know, just seeing her participate was really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned, I do feel like self-love of your journey on Drag Race and you being on television with We're Here as well is like, it's definitely been like the hallmark of your, what you're sharing through your...
The story arc.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think as, you know, speaking of Bear Week in general, I think being a bigger person, one, it takes a lot to learn how to love your body and learn how to be sexually self-accepting as well. And also just as a queer person in general, right? I mean, a lot of us deal with religious trauma when it comes to our sexuality, also just like social trauma, so on and so forth. So I always find it really endearing to be able to like bring that into everything I do. But it's taken me this long to get here, you know what I mean? To like truly accept myself enough to like walk the world as a 6'4" giant tranny. Yes, I say the word tranny because I earned the right to say it. You know, and I think that that's just cool. So it's like, you know, I used to be afraid to put myself out there in that way and kind of give the mirage of self-love and fake it till you make it. And it's so different living life when you're no longer faking it till you make it. You're just fucking doing it. Excuse my language. I don't know. Can we cuss on here?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Say
whatever.
whatever the hell you want.
Okay. You threw a hell in there for me. Thank you.
I do have to mention, you say one of my favorite lines ever uttered on Drag Race, which is, it was on All Stars. You were wearing a bodysuit on the runway, which usually queens get red for, and you said, say what you will about a bodysuit, but if the body is right, put a suit on it.
Hello? That is my motto. Listen, if you got the body, put a suit on it, mama.
I say that at least once a week.
Okay,
I cannot tell you.
good. Work. That's my favorite too then. My favorite is Puswacha. I can't help it.
Is what?
My favorite thing I've ever said on Drag Race was Puswacha.
How do I not remember that?
I don't know, but it's what I've always used instead of the P-U-S-S, a Y word, because my mother hated it.
Yeah.
That was like one of the few things she wouldn't let me say, so you're gonna have to get creative. So I was like, watch out for this Puswacha. That adds like a little attitude to the Pusay.
So you've traveled the country with We're Here, creating community, uplifting queer communities all over the country. What is that like traveling, especially now?
Some of those dark places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it's a lot of work, but it's not something that I'm not privy to already, just coming from East Tennessee, a small town myself.
Right.
And, you know, I think for me, Bob, and Shangela, all coming from a small town, it's something that we all had previously experienced. So a lot of the things that I saw and that were said or that happened, I wasn't shocked by. You know what I'm saying? What I was shocked by the most, honestly, was really the support and the love and the people that showed up. You know, and it's so crazy how, you know, I'll never forget being in Farmington, New Mexico, and there being like 5 guys in the front row with "Make America Great" hats on, and they were just like, "That was the best I ever saw in my whole life." And I was like, "Fuck your hat, thank you."
I love that.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
What is next? What's not next? You know, I love to work. I love to keep moving. You know, my dream since I was younger was to be the gayest Chris Farley in the world. So I want to act. I want to continue moving into the comedy direction. I want to be involved in more structured television. I love reality television, but I feel like I've really done that so much that I'm ready to like, please let me play somebody else, girl.
Well, one of the first things of like acting that I saw you in was American Horror Story Provincetown. But you didn't film that in Provincetown.
We did not. I did not film it in Provincetown. It was all a lie. So I was running through a staged cemetery and slaughtered by a vampire in Hollywood. But,
I thought you were the perfect person to cast in kind of like a little bit of an homage to Divine having like iconic roots set in Provincetown. So
well, my favorite part of it was being a scream queen officially. You know, I don't know if anyone knows. If y'all don't know what a scream queen is, it's the girl who's usually running half naked and she gets killed. Usually the first girl in the movie, or like the female star of scary movies. Which, dang, what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the only scream queen that has never been killed in any movie she's ever been in as a scary movie.
Damn.
To this day, she's yet to die.
And you got killed in the first.
I know, what the hell? I was like, girl, that vampire got a meal, bitch. That was a buffet, mama.
How much longer are you in Provincetown for?
So I am here until tomorrow morning. I have a pool party today at the Brass Key. We're doing a big wiener package contest at the Wiener Roast. Apparently I get to pick which wiener I like the best out of these like white see-through underwear.
It's not biggest.
I think it is biggest, but I'm surely gonna pick the smallest just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Or to celebrate the fact that, you know, everyone's beautiful, everyone's sexy. You don't have to have a giant wiener to be loved.
I'll participate if there's a prize for most medium.
Okay. Sure. Tell yourself whatever you need to.
Is your mom watching this right now?
Most medium. More small medium.
Oh my god.
And then you're free for the night to run around town for your last night?
Yeah, so you know, Miss Crocker invited me over to her show, so I think me and a couple friends might go watch her show.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
You know, both of us are sober girls, so we might have some ice cream after.
Work.
So I'm excited about that. Thank you. Or I may be tired and skip it altogether and try to get laid before I leave. Who knows, you know?
The night is your oyster.
Yeah. And I hate seafood, so bring on the dick.
So noon to 4 is the Wiener Roast over at the Brass Key today.
You need to compete in this contest.
If I got it to work in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you get out of work, where are you working?
Right here at the brewery.
Oh, big brewery.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to need a time slot, fill in.
Yeah. I'm going to need a 15-minute break to run over and throw on one of those white thongs to participate.
He says all it'll take is 15 minutes. Wow. Good job.
It doesn't take that long to show this
4
off.
or 5 seconds.
Oh my God. Thank you, Eureka, for coming in this morning. Hang out there. What? Spooky, come on over.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
So we just wanted to chat real quick. Where can we catch you?
Sure. So you can catch me. Actually, last night I did Magnifique, which is Thursdays at 8 o'clock in the Wave Bar at the Crown and Anchor. And now tomorrow you can catch me in the show I created, Helltown Burlesque, which is every Saturday at 9. In the cabaret room. It's redone, it's beautiful, and it's very vintage burlesque-y. So,
Totally.
And you can see a rotating cast of your town favorites.
You do a different MC every week?
Every week
Who's
is a
the
different
MC
one.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm bringing in a performer from the Connecticut burlesque scene called Professor M.
Word.
But we had some amazing ones. We had Edie, we had Mahogany. Everyone is amazing.
That was really impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in my big rock. His name is Dwayne.
You said Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dwayne.
Okay, I got it. Dwayne the Rock.
Did not say rock.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having
me. Be sure
me.
to check everything out you've got going on. You do Showgirls a lot too.
I
right?
do, yes.
Yeah.
And you can catch it all at onlyatthecrown.com.
Yeah, come show him some love.
But you can only check him out in a thong at 9 a.m. right here on Wake Up in Providence. Thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to our sponsors.
the Boat Slip, the Shipwreck at the Brass Key, the Provincetown Brewing Company, the Provincetown Business Guild, the Crown and Anchor.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I did.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thanks for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.